Okay, so you need to find the element. Blue represents the electrons and the energy levels within the electron cloud. Red are the protons, and gray represents the neutrons. So here we've got one proton, one neutron, and two electrons. Please remember that to find the number of protons, you look inside the nucleus, and we have 1. That's going to correspond to the atomic number for any element. So 1 proton is going to correspond to hydrogen, which has the atomic number of 1. So the element would be hydrogen. So you click on hydrogen. Then it's going to ask you another question. Is this a neutral atom or an ion? To know if it's an ion, you have to compare the protons to the electrons. If they are not equal in number, like we have here, 1 proton, 2 electrons, it is an ion. If your number of protons equals your number of electrons, then it's a neutral atom. Click on check. Okay, that's how you do that game. For the second game, you have to determine the charge. So this is just like that second question for the previous game. You've got 1 proton, 2 electrons. You do protons minus electrons. So 1 minus 2 is going to give you a -1. So you come over here and you use the down arrows to get you the number that you want. Click check. Okay, that's how you do that game. This game is asking you to find a couple things. It may ask you for mass number, it may ask you for the charge, or it may ask you for the atomic number. This one's asking you for the atomic number. We have 1 proton, so therefore the atomic number is 1. Okay. We have no electrons, so the charge is +1, which automatically appeared for you. Click check, and you know you got it right if you have the smiley face. Okay. The last game is a hodgepodge, kind of a potpourri. They give you a variety of activities. This one, they want you to fill in all 3 boxes. So 12 protons would be the element that has the atomic number of 12. So down here goes atomic number. And they tell you it's magnesium. Now, to get your mass number, remember it's protons plus neutrons. So it's 12 plus 12, which is 24. And I don't think there's an easier way of getting to 24. You just have to click on the up arrow 23 times to go from 1 to 24. And then up here is going to be your charge. So it's protons minus electrons. 12 minus 12 is 0, so we can leave the 0. We check. I'm going to do a couple more, and if I get them all right, you will see what happens if you answer all 5 questions correctly. Okay, we've got 1 proton. Remember, that's the red sphere, so the atomic number is 1. We've got 1 proton and 1 neutron, so the mass number is 2. We've got 1 proton and 1 electron. Protons minus electrons gives you the charge. 1 minus 1 is 0. I think I'm good. And the smiley tells me I am indeed good. Oh, okay, this one. They want you to place the protons. Well, it's helium. Helium always has 2 protons. And I also know that because the atomic number down here is 2. Now, 2 plus my number of neutrons has to get me to 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So I know this isotope of helium only has 1 neutron in the nucleus. They tell me the charge is 0, so I know I need 2 electrons. And there they go. I knew I needed 2 electrons because the charge was 0. 2 protons, 2 electrons. Finally, up next to last, we've got carbon. Atomic number tells me the number of protons, always, 6. To get my number of neutrons, I ask myself 6 plus what will get me to 13? and that is 7. And again, you just have to click it several times to get to 7. And then the charge, they tell me that the charge is 0. That means my protons has to equal my electrons. If I've got 6 protons, I need 6 electrons. Let's check. Yay! I am awesome. Finally, ooh, this looks almost too simple to be true. Too good to be true here. I've got 1 proton. Atomic number is 1. I don't have any neutrons. So 1 plus 0, 0 neutrons will get me my mass of 1. Remember, it's the protons and the neutrons that have the mass. And I don't have any electrons. So I've got 1 positive proton and no electrons. So this one is positive by 1, because 1 minus 0, 0 electrons, gets me a charge of positive 1. Let's check. Yay! And if I click next, you see what happens if you answer all 5 correctly. Each one is worth 2 points. So if you earn a 10 out of 10, 100%, the periodic table rains down on you in full glory. That's how we do the 4 games that I'd like you to do for practice. You have access to this anytime you are on a computer. I think it works best on laptops and desktops. You can try it on iPads and iPhones. I don't think it works though, but let me know if something has changed over the years. The link is in our Blackboard site. It will stay up for the rest of the year. And you can always just Google PHET, P-H-E-T, and this is called Atom Builder, and you did the games. Have fun. Hope the periodic table rains down on you. Ciao.